For millions of years, animal survival has relied on a closed loop. Both predators and prey operate on highly predictable, stereotyped instincts, refined over countless generations. When a hawk dives, it executes a hardwired sequence with precision. It doesn't need to invent a new way to fly on the way down. Humans are the outlier. We have the capacity to deceive, to create, and to intentionally subvert the expectations of our rivals. In philosophy, we call this open-ended flexibility free will. But this flexibility requires a massive brain, and the fossil record shows the severe physical toll that took. A larger cranium makes childbirth hazardous and forces infants to be born in a state of total helplessness for years. There is a biological limit to this growth. Expanding brain tissue is useful for mastering tool use, helping extract resources. But where the curve crosses X star, physical hazards outweigh the ecological benefits. If our only goal was surviving nature, brain growth should have stopped here. The fact that our brains didn't stop growing at this ecological limit is a massive anomaly. It suggests that once the physical environment was no longer the primary bottleneck for our survival, some other, far more volatile pressure stepped in to drive our evolution. At some point, our ancestors reached a tipping point. By using basic learned behaviors, much like the tool use we see in modern chimpanzees, they effectively conquered their environment. Nature was no longer the greatest threat to their survival. Instead, the primary threat became the creature standing right next to them. Survival now meant competing against other intelligent peers, who were using those same tools and social strategies to secure resources for themselves. This changed the rules of the game. Once weapons are introduced into conflicts between members of the same species, the situation becomes unstable. Unlike teeth or claws, a tool can be used in novel ways, and those tactics can be quickly copied or countered. In this new environment, operating on instinct is a liability. If an opponent knows exactly how you will react, you are easily outwitted. To survive a conflict against an intelligent, armed peer, you have to be unpredictable. This pressure forced a shift in our biology. To survive this peer-to-peer competition, evolution had to actively move away from hardwired instincts and towards something much more flexible. This mechanism is known as the mental arms race amplifier, or MERA. MERA created a brutal feedback loop. It aggressively selected for creative novelty and punished stereotypical behavior. In this race, the individuals who could invent the most devious social and tactical solutions were the ones who survived to pass on their genes. The biological result was massive brain hypertrophy. Evolution prioritized generalized, domain-independent information processing, neural architecture designed not for fixed responses, but for open-ended calculation. This amplification model explains why our mental capacity kept expanding long after our basic survival needs were met. The investment in mental weaponry simply kept going higher and higher, bridging the gaps where standard evolution would have stalled. In the context of this theory, the unpredictable flexibility we call free will starts to look like a biological necessity, the calculation software required to survive an ongoing mental arms race. You can see the physical toll of this arms race in how humans grow. We require a uniquely long, protected childhood just to give our brains the years they need to program the complex social software required for adulthood. MERA also shaped our culture into a dual-purpose network. It is a vital tool for communication, but it is also a highly evolved system of deception. It's why outside observers, like anthropologists, often find it difficult to see the underlying layers of conflict and violence in human societies. Being part of this species carries a unique psychological burden. We live with a constant internal tension, a self-scrutiny designed to find flaws in our own plans before a rival can exploit them. We even weaponize that doubt, using it to paralyze our opponents. This leads to a core corollary of the MERA hypothesis. Human history is essentially unpredictable. We are selected to subvert patterns. If an observer can foresee our next move, a rival can too. It's why grand theories of history, like those of Arnold Toynbee, regularly fail to find a lasting, repeatable pattern in our behavior. Ultimately, free will isn't a mystical gift. It's an evolved tactical weapon. It ensures our survival by making us the most unpredictable creatures on Earth, forever surfing on the edge of Darwinian chaos.